situation with wind here. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of guys make is they fish into the wind. And this is probably the worst thing that you can do as far as actually getting bites and getting strikes is to fish into the wind. I see people fighting the wind all the time. I can't tell you how many times where the wind will be blowing 10 or 15 miles an hour or maybe more, and I'll see some dude out there just trying to fight the wind, work down a bank. You don't ever want to do that. And let me explain to you why. First of all, when you want to fish with the wind at all possible. There's two situations I'll talk about where you do want to fish into the wind, but there's not very many of them. Most of the time, here's why you want to fish with the wind. First of all, it's quieter. Now, if you're fishing into the wind, all you really have to do occasionally is just touch your trolling motor to keep the boat going straight. You let the wind do the rest. The stealth aspect of this cannot be underestimated, guys. Being stealthy and not using that trolling motor definitely going to add up to a lot more fish to you. The next thing with that is when you're fishing with the wind, you are so much more in tune with your bait, and you can put better action on your bait, and you can put better feel on your bait, and your bait falls more naturally. And this is the main thing with it. It's like when you cast with the wind, the way that your bait falls and the way you work the bait, it's just a lot more natural to the fish, and you can also make a longer cast. Now, a lot of times, depending upon what you're doing, you may or may not want to make a longer cast, but if you're trying to cast into a 15 or 20 mile an hour wind versus casting with a 15 or 20 mile an hour wind, you're going to be able to cast twice as far with the wind. So there's three aspects there to your benefit about, fishing with the wind. And a lot of people say, well, Randy, I'm going too fast down this area. I can't cover everything thorough enough. That's fine. If you don't think you can cover everything thorough enough, then just drift down through there and then crank up and make another pass down through it. You can make repeated drifts. Now, a lot of this depends on the cover you're fishing too. And it also depends on the wind speed, depending upon if the wind's 5 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour. But the main thing that I want to reiterate here, guys, if at all possible, unless it is just impossible for you to do, you want to fish with the wind. You're going to get more bites for sure. Now, the only time that I do fish into the wind, which is not very much, is if I'm casting to one specific target. And if I don't hit that target, I'm not going to catch a fish. So let's say, for example, I found a drop-off, and there's maybe a rock pile or something on this drop-off in 20 foot of water, and the wind's blowing 15 miles an hour.